Peace. Today is Sunday, November 4th. Making today's math.
Culture freedom.
That's right. Culture is one's way of life. The culture we deal with is one that frees one's dome, frees one's mind. Peace to the gods and earths. Peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
And I'm Digga.
That's right. Remotely, we got
Foxxy Alex, FOXXYAL to the EX.
Fact checker Rage, sound man Alex.
What's going on?
And we got my man Harold up in the house behind the cameras and all that. What up, Harold?
What up?
Oh, I thought you was answering for Harold. I said, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Harold. What up, Harold?
Harold is my man's in there.
Harold could speak
Yeah.
for himself. Ain't that like a woman trying to just cut in and speak for a man?
Hey, Harold.
But anyway, so right about now, Digga, she's actually in the studio right now. Not in this studio, but she's in a secret location studio somewhere in New York City. And she is working on, well, why don't you tell the people what you're working on and why you're not here right now?
Well, the reason for my absence is because right now I am currently working on Flipmode Squad album number 2. We just
Okay.
recently celebrated our 20-year anniversary.
Let's clap it up for that. Clap it up for 20 years of Flipmode Squad. That's right. Bust a bus.
Flipmode Squad. And now we are working on a next album. It's supposed to be a surprise album, but I guess it won't be a surprise by the time you guys see this. The album may actually be out by the time this airs. But
Right. Well, maybe this will be supporting press.
been everybody's been sharp, and we like 2 weeks in, and it's done. And
So
yeah.
So hang on. For those who might have been under a rock for 20 years, go over the members of Flipmode Squad and the ones that are here and participating and just who's over there with Digga?
So we got Baby Sham, that's Baby and the crew from Queensbridge.
Okay.
We got Rampage, the last Boy Scout.
Okay.
We got
Ramp.
who's always, by Busta's side. That's the person that performs with Bust. Busta Rhymes on Bust. And me.
Yeah.
Digga.
Yes.
First name Rashia.
Yes. Sweetest for had no idea. Just like that, honey, flipped 3 times.
That's what's up. So y'all think y'all making some marvelous shit over there? Is this something that you feel like, you feeling good about it? Are people gonna be happy with the work y'all putting in over there?
Well, you're definitely gonna get classic flip mode. Like it's if you are an appreciator of boom bap and grown-ups talking their shit and grown-ups not trying to chase any waves or trends and just doing what they do, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like this album is definitely classic flip mode. Everybody pretty much sounds consistent with how you remember them, so that's a good thing. And yeah, we got some shit. I don't think there's any like crews really doing any crew shit right now. Like I'm thinking about it. I know there was a Diddy's reunion recently. They went on the road, but
That was actually not as recent as that. I feel like that might have been like 2 years ago.
actually that might be 2-3 years ago. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Digga got sticky. Okay, you're back.
and coming together like this, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I know we always hear from the Wu-Tang members from time to time, but yeah, there's no like real rap crew activity that that we know of going on. So I think this is gonna be a good look for the gang.
Now, right now, we're on our platform called Shindig. That's how we're able to do this, video conferencing thing right now. So right now, I got my homegirl, Queen Crafts. Shout out Queen Crafts. Support her. She makes great glassware, embellished glassware and stuff like that. She wants to know, can this album be pre-ordered? Is it on pre-order right now? Could she pre-order a copy somewhere?
It's not available yet, but it is dropping in the not so distant future. So we're still kind of through, still going through whatever last minute changes, but as I believe as we draw closer to the date, because our original tentative date was October 30th, and that's about 6 days away. So I don't know if that's realistic, but we are in this digital age where you can literally just like drop an album overnight. So we may possibly, still be getting it out next week.
Okay. That's what's up. I might come fuck with y'all later or something like that. But anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, we also got your homegirl here sitting in your chair because
that's right.
We need that chair to stay smellable.
I gotta always hold my girl down. Yes,
we need that chair to stay smellable and warm. So we put Alex, Foxxy Alex in the chair this week.
Right.
To take, of course, to sit in for you. Mm-hmm. But you still here with us. So
that's right.
Fuck it. We're going to just do it like this. And on the shindig thing, they got me in the middle.
I like this shindig thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Brady Bunch.
Kind of.
With boobs.
With boobs.
The Brady Bunch with boobs. I like
Brady
it.
Bunch with boobs.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, if you want to donate to the show, always go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, or Yanadameen.com/support. Yeah. So we here. We doing it. What's popping this week? What's been going on? What's some shit that we could talk about in this last 13 minutes?
I mean, pick something. I mean, so much.
Let's
going
get
on.
right to the spice.
And just go.
Let's
he said, "Get to the spice."
Let's get right to the spice, man.
Okay.
Oh wait. Let me just say
get right to the oregano
for our new viewers that may not be familiar with my bestie occupying my chair at the moment. Alex is an award-winning broadcast journalist, so she's my fact checker.
That's right.
Shit.
Battle of the fact
checkers. Uh-oh.
Doing her little bogle dance.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. See,
because
see the gender.
My facts be factual. Okay? Of course we're going to back my facts. She going to back my facts.
Thanks for the big up, digga.
I'm a factual motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yo, Jay, that's a battle, B. That's a battle cry. Battle of the fact checker.
But I do this every day.
Yeah, no, she does really do this. Like,
I do this every day. Wu-Tang for the children.
Okay.
I do this every day.
Tell us where you work again.
WBGO 88.3 FM. I am the afternoon news anchor. I also produce Newark Today with Mayor
Take
Baraka.
that bass out your voice. Like
she
I had to put
pulling rank on you, bitch.
I had to put on my official journalist, broadcast award-winning journalist, broadcaster extraordinaire voice on you. 4 to 6 every day. Catch me 88.3 FM in New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area, online and on our WBGO app.
Good for you. I'm from Brooklyn. Catch me on the ass. Catch me on the Ave at the barbershop. Checking the facts.
Okay. Check him on Nostrand Ave at the motherfucking, at the what theater? What
Who's gonna
theater?
check me, boo? Not you.
Right there in the barbershop, St. Mark's and Nostrand, checking facts.
Okay. That's how the fuck we do.
Check
Brooklyn.
me, boo? Not
award-winning
you.
fact checker on St. John. You said St. John's and Nostrand?
Yeah, St. Mark's and Nostrand.
St. Mark's and Nostrand.
You can catch me on Broad and Market, boo. Okay.
Oh, man. I'm scared of Broad and Market. Man.
Yeah.
Catch him with a roti. Checking facts.
What, Guan?
Yeah.
All right, so this week there was a picture going around on the internet of the Jamaican reggae artist by the name of Spice. Some of you may know her from Love and Hip Hop. I knew her as a dark-skinned sister all of a sudden there were pictures coming up of her where it appeared that she bleached her skin something fierce. Now, I think this is a subject that we may have touched on briefly before. But from what I'm hearing, first of all, this might not be true. She might have not really bleached her skin, and this may be some sort of protest or some sort of trolling mechanism or some sort of
publicity stunt.
Yeah, some sort of way to, yes, get eyes at you and maybe make a statement. Fact checkers, talk to me.
Okay, well, yeah, this is something that really hits home for me because of my Caribbean ancestry, and Jamaica has a real controversial movement with the, bleach skin.
I would call you a dark-skinned brother, yes?
Yeah, I would so.
Okay.
I would certainly. Remember the song, "Them a bleach,
Them a
Bleach up them skin, them a bleach.
They look like a
The
brown."
browning.
Don't
them
get me
a
started.
bleach.
But anyway, so apparently she's addressing this on a new rollout song she has called Black Hypocrisy. So apparently...
Black hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy.
Okay.
So apparently it's sort of like a stunt engagement to like really highlight, the hatred she says that her own people have towards, more melanated people. So that's what she's saying. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that she didn't really do it because that was disturbing because I'm not going to say that, this girl Spice is the most beautiful girl in the world. But as far as her skin is concerned, she has some beautiful skin.
I think she's beautiful.
She has some beautiful,
Straight-
chocolate,
Absolutely.
smooth looking skin.
Yeah.
Okay? And to take away from that and to have some sort of hatred where this picture was like night and day, literally. If she would
It
have
looked
done
like
that.
an obvious publicity stunt. It looked like it was something. that
No,
was,
because I've seen have you seen Sammy Sosa?
Oh,
we
absolutely.
put pictures of him on here already.
Oh,
one
Vibes
of the
Cartel, actually.
Vibes
Vibes
Cartel's son.
Cartel.
I was just about to bring
What,
that up.
his son did it too?
His son did it, and they actually contrasted it because new pictures of Vibes Cartel's son came out also this week around the same time that those pictures of Spice came out, showing that he had bleached his skin. Not as drastically and as maybe photoshopped or airbrushed as Spice's pictures, which made her pictures look like they could have been,
I feel like they even maybe
manufactured.
slimmed her nose down a little bit in the picture.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, but Vibes Cartel's son, those look like that boy was actually bleaching his skin, going to the beauty store, buying the,
Well, how old are we talking now?
He's 13, is he not?
Rascal.
He's a teenager. He's a very young teenager. And yeah, his pictures came out this week just around the same time as Spice. So they were comparing them. And it seems like Spice, she has something that she's pushing, she's promoting. So it obviously seems like it's something that she's doing as a way to draw attention maybe to the issue, especially given the name of the track that she's dropping. But with Vibes Cartel's son, especially with that brother still being locked up down there in Jamaica, it's obvious that he's, struggling with something. And that seems like self-hatred.
I've got a hip hop fun fact that I just learned.
What's that?
Vibes Cartel is signed to did a deal with Busta.
Yes, he is.
Oh, really?
Dope.
Yep.
Well, I know in the girlfriend video, Busta,
That's right. Busta's always been
went
down
to
with
visit
Vibes.
Vibes Cartel, Pondé jail, and actually shot a piece of the video in jail, and yeah, they let him out for a little bit to be able to film that. So I know him and Busta's relationship goes
Didn't Vibes
deep.
Cartel, didn't he also, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he also bleach his skin prior to going?
Yes.
Wasn't he also guilty?
Yes, he was one of the main ones.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he's
For promoting that.
a leader
yeah.
in this shit.
Yeah.
And his reasoning was so that his tattoos would show better. But,
Right.
But no.
Yeah.
we know that the reasoning, and see, we're gonna have to get into more into this into the next segment, and I'd like to actually get into a discussion of melanin. Okay, so when we go on a break, fact checkers, y'all need to do a little bit of fact checking as melanin. What is it really? What does it do? Its purposes, and I'm gonna fill y'all in if you don't know. But yeah, I think we need to get into the science of melanin because if you truly understood what melanin was, you would never in a million years want to bleach your skin or do anything to alter your melanin and your state or levels of melanin.
Right.
It's crazy.
I want to ask you, do you think it's something that is, because a lot of people outside the culture look at it as self-hate, but folks that are in the Jamaican culture and the Caribbean culture where it seems so prevalent say it's just a part of the culture.
But they don't just say that. They'll admittedly say, well, my skin's like this, I get more girls look at me, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's what it is. It's a self-hatred. And a lot of times, self-hatred is not evident to the one who's hating on themselves. You see what I'm saying? It's easier to look outside yourself and notice the flaws on somebody else. It's only when you truly look at the man in the mirror, and isn't that ironic? Because Mr. Mike is skin bleacher number one. If we're really gonna believe this vitiligo shit, I got a fucking bridge to sell you. But anyway, you know, you gotta be happy with that man in the mirror, and I think, you know, this, and some of my people might say, well, white people get tans. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. And subconsciously, they are hating on their whiteness when they do that.
Yeah, if I could just...
But this is to a whole next level.
If I could just touch on the forensics of it from a Caribbean point of view. Yeah, it's, you know, what's interesting with the Caribbean experienced a certain level of colonial, like, tragedy.
Yeah.
So there's the self-hate thing is a little more palpable there. And particularly because even like culturally, at one point they only had like 2 stations in most of the Caribbean, you know, countries. And the only thing they were looking at were things like Love Boat and Dennis the Menace. So they didn't get a chance to really see some of the things we were doing over here with more, you know, representations of like black excellence, etc. So for a long time, there was a stigma coming from the Caribbean. And I used to notice that when I was young.
Absolutely understandable. Yeah.
And I've been criticized for having a highly melanated girlfriend in this music business. I'm not even gonna say names, but literally, people have pulled me to the side like, Rage, you know, you kind of on. You can get you. I'm like, why you? What?
You kind of on. Why your girl so black?
Is that
ass.
Really?
Dead ass.
That's crazy.
What?
Dead ass.
Shout out to Chris from Shindig. I see you.
Digga, is that true? Is that something? I mean, that you.
What? We just got stuck here. What happened?
No, I was just.
Are you asking Digga what?
I'm asking Digga, is that something that she's heard or experienced, like in the industry? Like, is it like rappers, like dudes in the industry are more like geared towards light-skinned women?
Oh,
women?
I mean, if you hearing how many rappers rap about, I want a red bone, and not too long ago, Kodak Black came under fire because he made a comment about not liking dark-skinned women.
And there's another rapper that said that too. Another rapper said,
sure enough.
and he's dark-skinned. These are dark-skinned and said they will not date nobody their complexion.
He got called out on it, and then he said, and then he went back to make the correction and said, I wasn't saying I don't like black women. I love black women. I don't like black bitches. I like yellow hoes. That was his
cleanup.
What?
That was his cleanup.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, man.
Great, Mr.
Whoever the fuck.
Kodak Black. That was a good cleaning up of the statement.
Jeez.
It's been an issue. I seen a girl cry one time because of her complexion in the industry. I
don't know. I just keep coming back to the Beyonce. Is this the Beyonce effect? I mean, that's
Before
what
Beyonce
I feel like.
was, I mean, you know.
It just keeps coming back to.
See,
That's what just keeps coming back to my mind.
I've always been the type. I don't know. I feel
With my
like since I've
light-skinned
been
blonde
young,
hair.
like I can appreciate
Right.
beauty.
In all.
Yeah, light
Word
skin, dark skin, like it doesn't matter. Like if you beautiful, I can appreciate that, or even sexy. Like I can appreciate sexy. Sexy doesn't always mean pretty.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some girls that are not that pretty, but they be sexy as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah, or not even just the look. Sometimes it's an aura or something about them. You know what I mean? It's something about their energy that's sexy or whatever. And
Rod
so,
Digger could dig it.
and like, but I just remember being younger. But then, especially when I got knowledge of self, and that's when you really start to appreciate like just original sisters, like, and you just see how you were duped, and so now you start looking, and you like. Yo, there's some fine dark-skinned sisters out here. I like that nice chocolate smooth. Yeah.
And Spice got the wagon too, so I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Huh? What I did a hand thing? I was thinking of a beautiful
Right.
thinking of a beautiful mind. I was
Right.
beautiful mind. Huh?
That's exactly how the mind is shaped. Your brain is like an apple.
But listen, we're gonna get back, and when we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about more chocolateness. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian PEACE gear, hoodies, t-shirts, snapbacks, available at hoodg.com. Get yours today. All right, peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord
Peace.
Jamar. We got
Digger.
she's remotely here on the shindig. We got
Foxxy Alex.
in this motherfucker, my man.
Fact checker raid.
Oh shit. And then we got
Alex the engineer, man.
oh shit, and my
We got
man.
it down pat.
Oh, I like how I just point and shoot like a
I love
motherfucking
it.
Canon camera in this bitch. What's good, y'all?
Boobs.
I am currently in the studio with Flipmode Squad. We are working
That's
on
right.
a reunion album.
Tell him, Digger. Tell him.
Sometime in the not so distant future, like too soon. So stay tuned.
That's what's up.
Flipmode is the squad.
Mixed matter.
That's what's up. Shout out to Bussa Bus, Spliff Star, Rampage, Baby Shams, motherfucking Shaheem
I wanted
Reed.
to see if them could jump on camera real quick, but they look real seriously huddled in the booth. So I'm gonna let them finish cooking, and then I'll check them out in a couple minutes.
You get one of them rockhead niggas up on this motherfucking Godcast real quick. Okay? So, when we left, we were talking about skin complexion and bleaching, and we said we were going to talk about melanin. Did y'all look up any things about melanin while we were gone? No, you didn't, you motherfuckers. But I did in my mind,
your mind.
because I already had this information and I just been waiting to reveal it to certain people. So let's just talk a little bit about melanin. What do you know about melanin, first of all? If I just ask an average person who I feel like doesn't know much, what do you know? What is melanin?
Well, as far as I know, melanin is what brings out the color in your skin. It's the part of your body that creates your complexion, that creates your skin tone, and it's either inherited, or you can obviously at this point, at this stage in the game, manufacture it. From what we've been discussing, right? But it's what gives us our complexion. It's the part of our body scientifically that is brought out in our skin tone.
Well, that's what they'd like you to think.
Okay.
All it does.
I just set myself
Melanin.
up.
Hey, that's what we do here. We let people walk into
I
fucking
just walk.
little
He
verbal
opened the
traps
door,
and shit.
My ass walked
And-
right.
Ha! Gotcha, motherfucker.
You're smarty arty in there. Smarty arty.
What'd you say, girl? We can't even hear you. Fuck you talking about?
So is blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Sweeter the juice.
The blacker
right.
that is true. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I actually have a little melanin factoid.
What do you know about melanin? Go ahead.
See, because
Well-
you got your laptop and everything.
Yeah, he's-
like that.
he's
I'm,
peeking
I'm
at shit.
unprepared and shit.
Code. Nah,
All light skinned and
I'm on
unprepared.
shindig with my phone and shit.
You're all
right?
light-skinned
I'm
and
all light-skinned
unprepared.
and unprepared and shit.
yeah. NASA sprays the space shuttle with melanin to prevent from burning up on reentry. No, that's a fact. That's a scientific.
So you're telling us
it's
melanin is
not.
a chemical?
Well, that's what they've been reporting for.
That's hilarious, and that leads us to a whole nother show.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Right.
Trust me, if you believe that, I got a couple buildings to sell you.
Definition of it is actually supposed to be the component in our bodies that protect us from the sun.
Right.
What's that they tell you? That's what they say in dictionary. Because that's not
That's, yeah, that's like the scientific definition of melanin. Yep.
Well, melanin is not just about your skin color. Okay? Melanin deals with everything. Your spirituality, your intelligence, your memory, it controls systems in your body as far as your circadian rhythms of how your sleep patterns, why your eyelashes grow to a certain piece, your hair. It is a balancer of everything, basically.
Gland too,
that-
right? Isn't it a gland?
That sounds like the definition of what they tell us a brain does.
Well, first of all, it's secreted from your pineal gland, which is in the very center of your brain. Okay. And well, some of us are melanin deficient. Some of us come from melanin deficient backgrounds. The Caucasian race is what we would call melanin deficient. Now, this is by their own scientific standards. This is not anything that, like, I'm not trying to be racist here or anything like, oh, Lord Jamar, he's talking bad. This is by scientific standards.
Yeah.
There's races that are, melanin-rich, and then those that are melanin-deficient. And melanin, it has so much more to do with just your skin color. Melanin is DNA. Like, they don't tell you those two, okay, you got those two helix or whatever, and it looks like a staircase, those two lines, and then there's the ones that go in between. The two lines, that's melanin. The thing between it is a protein, like a sugars, which helps bind it together, which holds it together. So melanin is responsible for a lot of systems inside your body and regulating these systems and bringing harmony to the universe, basically, to you and the universe. Your body, all animals, all things have melanin.
Right.
Before you chime in, I think that God deserves a round of applause for dropping that science.
Absolutely.
I'm fanning out. Yeah, I'm a regular yes man. I'm
Absolutely.
Listen.
Absolutely.
That was tight.
Me
God
too,
dropped
me too. Me too.
Listen,
Dropping that knowledge.
because it's needed. Like we take certain things on face value, and they only tell us part of the story.
I just can't help but look at the shindig screen and see I'm the lightest motherfucker here.
Now,
I must be the dumbest.
Nah,
no.
it's not about that. We can't
You
get
still-
to that colorism stuff.
You still, well, hang on.
I'm just teasing.
Colors
I'm teasing, I'm teasing.
colors do identify certain things, though, and we have to
Well, yeah.
Recognize that.
AKA melanin.
AKA melanin. Listen, the melanin deficient people have a different chemistry than people that are melanin rich.
Or abundant like me.
Like
That's
melanin,
what I'm saying.
melanin deficient people have high
melanin abundant.
melanin deficient people have higher levels of ammonia and sulfur inside their bodies. And you'll smell it like when they say that white people smell like dogs or whatever. It's just when they get wet, it's because of the high sulfur count that occurs in a body that's less melanin rich. You understand? It's not that they really smell like dogs or anything like that. It's just a high sulfur and ammonia in the body.
Right.
There's all kind of chemicals that interact with each other. You see what I'm saying? And when we start to isolate certain chemicals, that's when problems happen. Like this chemical needs to work with this chemical in order for life to fucking even happen. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Chemistry. Okay? And then listen to the word chemistry. Okay? But anyway, the science of relationships. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what in pharmaceuticals and all of that, drugs fuck with the relationship between one thing and the other, you know, a neuron and an electron, whatever the case may be, one receptor and another, they fuck with relationships. And see, relationships is what creates the universe. Man and woman creates the child. That's a relationship, you see, that now creates more life.
And that's absolutely chemistry.
And when you fuck with that relationship, like they do to us, you see where they fuck up the relationship between man and woman, the relationship between, you know, one receptor and another. This is now how you get drug addiction and all kind of bullshit like that. And not for nothing, people that are melanin rich are more sensitive and susceptible to certain things. This is why they'll fucking pump the drugs at us, because we are more like, melanin makes everything better.
Right.
Like, it makes us, like, we see things more crisper than people that are melanin deficient.
Right.
We taste things better. Our emotions are different. Like, this is kind of what I'm talking about with hip hop too, as far as like white rappers and like and how like just the technology of it is not enough. You need the melanin in order for that true feeling. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To connect with the spiritual side of yourself. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we as original people do, and that's what our melanin enables us to be in contact with.
You know what? People don't even realize that like light eyes, like hazel eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, like that's actually a recessive gene. And I bug out when I see black women, you know, wearing colored contacts. Like, oh, so you know, you don't even realize you're trying to emulate something that's actually recessive.
Right.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, we do that all the time, though, as original people, and
because
it's like
they think the rarer it is, the more beautiful it is. In that case, anyway.
Well, not just well,
whole nother topic.
Yeah,
but like a black person with blue. First of all, we create all colors. All black people can have any color eyes because we created all eye colors. You see what I'm saying? But we just have to.
These are black people with blue eyes.
Right. We have to just really acknowledge the fucking mental fuckery that has gone on to the point where we would actually just not want to be ourselves, to the point of bleaching your skin. Like, Like that shit's supposed to be painful
That's-
from what I like they're actually rubbing it off. Like with a soap. Like
if I could touch.
I remember back in the days in high school, like some of the first tattoos that niggas would get was these fucking eraser tattoos.
Yes,
and
right.
shit. You know what I mean? So niggas is taking pencil erasers and erasing the shit until your shit bleed, and trying to fucking just to have a tattoo, like, and that was some bullshit. Like that was almost a form of bleaching it away. Like it was painful. I did it. It was stupid, and we do a lot of dumb shit from lack of knowledge of self.
There's some footage from the Caribbean, particularly from Jamaica, of mothers bleaching their children. And the children are just wincing in like pain. It's sick, man.
Why? I mean, well,
Because they want their children. You know what? Here's the thing. In Jamaican culture, like I've met like stewardess, flight attendants, where they literally say, hey, listen, when they go for a job, human resources will tell them, you're too black. We can't hire you. In certain parts of Jamaica, your quality of life is dictated on your complexion. So a parent, you know what I mean, would be like, behooves them to be like, yo, I got to let my child have a better life.
Yeah.
And they try to help. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, well, that's colonialism at its finest.
That's what.
I have a
That's
sister
colonialism at its
here.
finest.
I am happy. I am happy. Are you mad? Is her name. She says, I am mixed. I was called non-black and shouldn't speak on black women's hair on a beauty platform. It was called a hater. How do you feel about women and their hair? What is the opinion on black versus mixed women? Well, we have a mixed. We have a mixed woman right here, little babushka right here.
Exactly.
First of all,
my colleagues, my time to shine.
I won't just say this, but any white genealogist to say this. You got a drop of black blood in you. You black.
Absolutely.
Okay. First of all, the black melanated gene is usually the dominant gene. Like, again, two white people can't make a black baby, yet two black people can make what looks like a white baby, which we would call an albino or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? All things come from us. Like all things come from the extremely melanated, and then we get less melanin as we go down the line.
When you're directly in my case, like for instance, and I have two daughters that look completely different. Yes, they have two different fathers, but their fathers are both African American, right? My mother is Russian. She does not want to be categorized
Russian
white.
Right.
She gets offended. She is not white American.
But
she is
Russian is white.
And my father is black and of Jamaican descent, right? Born in Brooklyn. His parents are both Jamaican.
I'm sorry, I mean chime in. Don't mistake nationality with race.
No,
like,
absolutely
black
not.
Russian.
Absolutely not.
She
But
just
right.
Okay.
But coming back to
I hear you.
where it comes out in color and hair texture and things like that, it, to me, from my personal experience, from myself being biracial and then having given birth to two daughters who have African American fathers and have two completely different complexions, hair textures. I mean, it's something that is a very sensitive issue to me. But growing up in the hood, I was called white girl. I was bullied. I was, and then having also experienced the other side of the fence and having gone to schools where I was amongst white people.
And then
I was
a nigga.
Yeah. Right? It didn't matter that my hair was straight or that I was light-skinned or pretty or any of that.
You wasn't white.
I was not white.
Right.
And to them, I was off limits.
Let me be.
But
sorry. Excuse me.
But to go back to the case of the melanin,
And we want to answer this sister's question.
Absolutely.
As well.
And to go back to that, yeah, there is historically in this country, I mean, there's been race mixing since the beginning of time, right? So how do we sift through all of that?
So let me just drop
right?
this. So then what do you think about the scientific statement being bandied about that race is a social construct and that there actually is no
That's
race?
bullshit. That's bullshit.
Well, in this country, is it? Is it not? Because let me tell you something. Race is a direct. If
can
anyone
say anything
that
is a
studied
social
American
construct,
history, right?
yet something is the reality of something
What
is
was
still
that
real.
rule, Jamar? That rule that was brought up that determined who could vote in the beginnings and the origins of this country.
What, the brown bag rule?
The 10%. No, it was the 10%. It was if you had a drop of African American blood in your system, you were automatically put in the colored, you know, so you couldn't vote, right?
Okay.
That to me defines a racial construct, right? Because now they're the society that you are growing up in, the
social
construct. But it's developed around race, right? Because they're trying to say that they're trying to purify one race and
that part of it is the social
determine-
construct.
and
But what I'm
determine-
saying is, in the reality, like especially in biology, the fact that white people and black people are different, okay, that's not a social construct. That's reality.
So then where do biracial people fall in that, though?
Where is it? Somewhere in the middle. Somewhere,
Right?
Somewhere
That's something that we all
in the
have to
middle.
deal
Although,
with.
but maybe not somewhere in the middle, because like I said, black dominates. So I'm not going to say that
Absolutely.
just because
It does.
hold up, just because that your father might be black and your mother is white, that makes you 50% of each
But it
one.
determined-
That's
no.
not necessarily true.
Okay, well, for me, I believe it's true,
First
right?
of all, you got a bunch of people that are.
But
be
I
like,
never belonged in either or.
I'm a quarter Irish. I'm a
So
third.
then, but then when you bring
Indian.
that up, that leads me to ask you, then where do my daughters fall, right? Where do my
They
daughters
black.
fall?
They black.
Says you.
No,
Right?
says
you.
says their
Not
DNA.
necessarily the
says
rest
their
of society.
DNA.
Well,
says
see,
it's not
everybody
about,
else is different.
I'm not talking about what people are saying. I'm talking about the reality of what it is. So the social construct could be.
But in the black
Russian,
community,
Let me
black
finish.
community, like I was telling you,
Your girl's cutting me
growing
off.
Me up, me.
Your girl's
growing
cutting
up,
me off, digger.
Me growing up in the black community. I was white girl. Didn't matter to them.
And that was a social construct. But are you really a white girl in reality? No.
No. Yes.
I think the demographic that you're referring to, Alex, like I mean, these are my nieces, so of course, you know, I can speak.
Right.
I think in our, you know, in our society, you know, especially with that mentality, like the colorist black person mentality, like those people are generally looking at hair texture. Like you have a very fine texture of hair, so people automatically equate straight hair or fine hair with being white or being mixed. Now, you have a very light-skinned daughter who has very kinky curly hair.
Right.
She's gonna be called nigga across the board.
Okay,
You know,
hang on.
now-
Before
and
Go
on
ahead.
the flip of that, on the flip side of that, he has a dark-skinned daughter with very fine, almost Indian texture
And
hair.
that's
So
my point,
people
what I
will
was
look
trying
at
to
her and consider, you know, the colorist black person will look at her and, you know, actually I don't even want to say colorist. I want to say the ignorant ones will consider that exotic. But
they could look at it however they want, but the DNA ain't gonna lie, and the chemistry and the chemical structure is not gonna lie. So yes, there are social constructs, but then there's reality within these social constructs, and so race is something real. Race is real. Okay, so now we can't just say it's a social construct. But listen, before we go to break, Tori Bless Heru, okay, just shouted us out, and I did want to mention this, but they're saying it so eloquently here. Let me just read what he says. Melanin is your central nervous system. I forgot to hit y'all with that. Melanin, let's say that again, is your central nervous system. Taste buds, reason why we season our food the way we do as black people, okay? It is our muscles in which give us rhythm and reason why we can jump and run fast and why we are stronger. It makes us more spiritually closer to God. We as original people have 12 melanin chambers, and Caucasian people only have 2. Just some fun facts on melanin.
Factoids.
Listen, we're just gonna let this soak in a little bit to the people.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And listen, I encourage y'all, don't never take nothing on face value. Like, don't just say like, oh Lord, Jamar told me this and I'm running with it. Go do your own fucking research. Find out for yourself. Crack the egg and get to the yolk. Okay, that's what we do. We don't take nothing on face value, not even from the God. Okay, we'll be back. Yanadameen Godcast.
Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian PEACE gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodcheap.com. Get yours today.
Hey, yo, peace. Welcome back to the Yanadameen Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm your girl, Foxxy Alex.
That's right.
In the
We
house.
got my man.
Fact checker rage.
My man Alex, the motherfucking sound man, and my man Harold on the cameras right about now. Digga had to leave us. She was in the first 2 segments, but she had to leave to do some flip mode business.
She's actually making history and
because
shit.
lyrics matter.
Yeah, because
That's
lyrics matter.
right.
They're in the studio right now.
Oh.
So yeah, I guess she had to go get in the booth for something, get her 1-2s on. So we love you, Digga.
Love
and
you.
we're gonna hold this last section down without you. Shout out to all my people that's in the house with us on Shindig, asking your questions and popping up. We appreciate you. If you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$Yanadameen, patreon.com/Yanadameen, or Yanadameen.com/support. We appreciate each and every one of you. Like, seriously, some of y'all be donating like every week, and I really, really appreciate that shit. Anyway, moving on. What are we talking about?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, ching, ching.
First of all, boobs got yelled out probably at the beginning of every segment. So do you have something you want to say?
Nah,
Do you have something that you'd like to discuss?
it's fact checker Tourette's.
I mean,
I'm not claiming responsibility.
because you call them boobs.
Oops.
I call them titties. Fun bags.
Fun bags are good.
I call them boobs and titties.
Boob titties.
Well, now you
Titties.
got something
Bitties.
new.
Tig-o bitties.
Tig old bitties. Well, so
Don't come at me, girls. Just saying.
So a few breaking type of news, but I guess it won't be so breaking when this comes out. But today there was what was going on? Like some suspicious packages or something was sent to different media outlets.
Wow.
And they feel it may be in response to, your boy Trump, who's acting like he got a beef with the media. And, since he got a lot of
He's got a beef with
mentally unstable type of following, this could be some of his people doing his dirty work for him. What's going on?
As a member of the media, I just have to say freely, because I can say so on the Godcast, I can't wait till they find this person. We know exactly who they going to be.
Kanye?
No, unfortunately. But
They're going to be
yes,
melanin
deficient. They're going to be some melanin and
This seems like the work of a melanin deficient person.
not only melanin deficient, tooth deficient, and probably in a middle state.
Probably got a
somewhere.
roadmap to his little sister's pussy in his back pocket.
Right, exactly. I mean,
Everglades swamp.
I mean, basically,
And to his mama's pussy.
right. Basically, it was just, and to be clear too, how mentally deficient these people might be. None of the actual packages, none of the actual bombs that they sent actually detonated, right? But out of an abundance of precaution, and given the fact that they were sent literally all over the country to almost every Democrat that has vocally expressed their anti-Trump, sentiments, especially given that the fact that we're in the middle of the media circus and the middle of the midterm elections, or as some politicians like to call it, silly season. They were sent
Why
to
do
the
they call
home.
it silly season?
They call it silly season because people start to get silly, right? Politicians are silly. Think about it, right? They're silly. When silly season comes in, they will say and do anything in order to gain the vote or gain the popular vote or gain the polls. They will do anything for their party. I won't say Democratic Party, any party. They will do anything in order to gain the popular vote, in order to keep the power that they have. They will say and do anything. Silly season among politicians, right? They will do and say almost anything to keep the power. And that's how powerful the vote is. And that's why it's so meaningful and so important that people that are of our age, of our skin complexion and what were we talking about? The melanin?
The melanin-rich.
The melanin, right. Get out there and vote in this season. And this is exactly why.
Well, we were speaking about this on last episode of the Godcast. And, to me, these midterm elections are probably definitely more important than the presidential elections.
Well, it's
because
gonna
to me, these are the ones that actually matter. These are the ones that actually affect the lives of everyday people, where the voice of the people can actually be heard. Where you don't have to deal with shit like the Electoral College and all this.
Well, it could
yes,
shift.
there is gerrymandering and all that, like we talked about. But I feel like if you're going to fuck with politics, this is the level that you should be fucking
Absolutely.
with it.
And the Panthers said all politics are local. Like the Black Panthers
Absolutely.
used to say that.
Absolutely.
And I also want to shout out the father-in-law who had no problem working with Mayor Lindsay back in the days, a politician, in order to get certain resources and that the youth needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't above working with a politician and inside that system in order to make things happen.
And these are the organizations that you speak of that were started in order to empower ourselves to get that vote, because that's what puts our people in positions of power.
Isn't it interesting that we just segued into voting in politics from the quote unquote bomb scare?
Well,
So-
yeah, but so the bomb.
So how do you relate the two? Like,
Well, obviously, it's clear, right, that these bombs were sent specifically to politicians and to media outlets that are outspoken anti-Trump people, right? You're talking about CNN. You're talking about they tried to send bombs to Obama, to the Obamas, to the Clintons.
how come none of them popped?
To
What happened?
That's-
I'm concerned because I believe in false flags.
Talk about it.
I believe in false flag operations.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's definitely like a scare
Crisis
season.
actors.
Crisis.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get all the facts on
Absolutely.
it, but I have to weigh that into
But
consideration.
the fact is that these were sent all over the country.
That takes a certain amount of infrastructure.
It absolutely
that
does.
takes a lot of deliberation,
And
and none of them popped. I don't get it.
What's going to happen exactly? We don't get it. We don't get it. And that's what's going to happen. That's what the investigation is about, right? So me looking at it from the outside, reporting on this is saying to me that this is clearly the work of somebody that is just trying to scare people. It's a scare tactic.
Are you familiar with the Latin term cui bono? Who benefits?
Who benefits? Exactly.
I'm asking you.
That's I don't know who benefits.
Well, here's
Why
the
would-
thing. Here's
how
the
would
thing.
I know? I would say that the people that benefit,
Let me explain something to you.
who knows?
Like, there's a lot of shit that we don't even realize is in place, and certain things happen that need to happen that you don't even know. Like, for instance, right? Around the time of 9/11, right? 9/11 happens. This is a big, national terroristic act or whatever the case may be, right? Now, in order for the Patriot Act to get enacted around this time, right?
Oh boy.
They needed not just one big terroristic thing to happen, but they needed two. So, if we remember, do you remember all the packages of anthrax that were being sent around?
Right. And
Yes.
some of these today that were sent had packages. They were not only pipe bombs,
But
but
listen,
they also had envelopes of white powder.
Let me finish what I'm saying. So, all of a sudden packages of anthrax getting sent here. We don't even understand what happened with that, right? And then all of a sudden it just stopped. I mean, you ain't never heard about a package of
Thank you.
anthrax sent to nowhere since then. Why? Because there was a certain law that was in place that said you needed like 2 threatening terrorist things to happen within a certain amount of time in order to pass this fucking law, in order for this Patriot Act to go
get
into effect.
Man.
Okay? So we give you one false flag and then we give you another right on the heels of it in order to pass a fucking law. So what I'm saying is, what happened, there could be a law in place right now. This might have happened in order to extend maybe a
Absolutely.
There's a
Patriot
sunset
Act.
clause in
Because
the Patriot
let's,
Act.
first of all,
Absolutely.
your man Obama extended the Patriot Act. So let's get off his fucking dick and act like this motherfucker was the greatest president in the world. He was the most charismatic president that we've ever had. But this motherfucker was not the greatest president. He ain't do shit for black people, and he did a lot of foul shit to continue the bullshit that these white people put into place. But anyway, so something like this happening today, there could be a law that we don't even know about, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That this could help to either continue or maybe instate.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Like
Absolutely.
we don't even know.
And how convenient it is that this also happens to happen around the time that we're beefing with Saudi Arabia
Wow.
over a dead, missing journalist that has yet to be accounted for.
Speak on it.
That
Who they
has
try to
yet-
say died in a fist fight?
Right. Right? And Saudi Arabia,
What?
if we remember, was behind 9/11. Not Iraq, Saudi Arabia. But yet, who did we go to war with?
Afghanistan. No, the first place they bombed was Afghanistan that
Bombs
day.
over Baghdad.
Okay.
So yeah, there's when it comes to the United States, and mind you, the bomb that was sent to, or the pipe bomb that was sent to CNN headquarters in New York City happened to have been addressed to John Brennan, who's the former head of the CIA under the Trump administration. But why is something addressed to John Brennan being sent to CNN headquarters? There's questions that loom large over this entire thing, especially because it happens to come 13 days before the midterm election.
Okay, listen, I want to move on because we don't have a lot of time left, and I wanted to touch on this fucking Mega Millions that just fucking happened.
Yeah, let's talk about, maybe this is a distraction from that.
Let's talk about the fucking lottery, which I was having a discussion with multiple people recently, and we've come to the determination that this whole lottery thing may be a fucking scam in its entirety. Even when they say that somebody wins. Like, let's keep it real.
Dare I say I agree with Jamar?
Wow.
Which camera am I looking at?
That's your
Dare
camera,
I
girl.
say da 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 da?
It's gonna zoom in on you.
I agree with Lord Jamar.
Listen, like, okay, keep it real. How many of these winners do we ever really follow after they win?
How many?
It's
of them
like they
actually end up
supposedly
alive
win,
5 years after
and now they're just. We never hear from these motherfuckers again. It's almost, what was that show with, that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, what, The Running Man or some shit like that? Where they were claiming that some of the winners, but them motherfuckers was dead.
Dead.
They really was dead. They was killing these motherfuckers, but they was acting like, oh, he won the shit. He's in paradise right now.
No, look, case in point. What's that show that comes up? He's on Lifetime or the TLC channel or one of the learning channel, one of them shit. The lottery ruined my life, or the lottery killed me.
Now
right?
that's the show to make you believe that it's real.
They end up committing suicide or something.
But that's also the show that makes you believe, okay,
Absolutely.
well, there is a life after lottery. I'm saying the same way they
Yeah, but
have.
half of them end up committing suicide.
Hang on, but the same way they have like fake everything, like fake crisis actors, fake, school shootings, fake this and that. Why would they not have a fake lottery? Like, think about what the lottery does for people. Even
It's
if you
government money.
Even if you don't play. Hang on a second. Because I didn't play this fucking shit. But would I lie? Would I be lying if I didn't say that I didn't contemplate it for half a second and said, should I go down to the store and get me a ticket? What if I won all that money? What would I do with it? Right there, they got you. Once you start fantasizing about what the fuck you would do with this money and that is the shit that helps keep the matrix going. As far as, especially if you're living a slave existence. If you're living a slave existence where you get up and you go to the slave, aka your job, every fucking day, and like you really hate this shit, but like. The lottery ticket is some shit that gives you hope. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's some shit that allows you to say, all right, I can make it another day because maybe one day, just maybe, I might fucking win the lottery or some shit like that. Like, it's just like the Greek games and all, like, they need football and baseball and to placate the people. You see what I'm saying? You got to placate the people.
But especially, don't you question it even more when they build the jackpot to the level where it's I feel like every 6 months there's a jackpot where they're coming around saying, oh, it's the biggest jackpot ever.
I mean, you got rich niggas trying to get it. Like they said, they said Mayweather bought $2,000 worth of
sure
tickets.
He did.
Like, but here's the thing. Like, what if they were just taking this money and nobody was winning? First of all, it was supposed to be, the lottery's supposed to be for schools. Yes,
I was.
Wasn't there lottery originally to get up money for schools? So how the fuck did we lose the music programs?
Yep.
The sports programs?
Speak on it.
Well, maybe they are using this money for schools, just not in our schools.
Amen.
Because where's the computers? Where's the iPads in every fucking desk?
Why is the state legislation fighting over money for the budget? For public school systems across the board. Why?
Let's talk about, okay, hypothetically, let's just say that this is real. And I did win $1 billion or whatever the case may be. Half of that goes to Uncle Sam. First of all, if I choose the big payout, right? If I don't want to get the pieced off for the rest of my life and I want the big payout, well, that big payout is going to be half of what the whole thing is in the first place. Then I get taxed on that money, half of that on some Uncle Sam. So out of $1 billion, I might walk away with $400 million. And I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying,
Where's the money
First of
going?
all, they robbing all of that, and where's
Right.
all that
Where's
money
the money
going?
going?
What are y'all doing with that money?
Not to mention that only 44 out of the 50 states actually have the Mega Millions. So there are people in states that don't even have the Mega Millions crossing borders just to play the game, just to buy tickets in other states because their state don't have the Mega Millions.
Right. I just found out an interesting etymology fact in terms of the name lottery. The word in question here is lot. And Dutch lot means your fate. Like your lot in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So it says the first recorded lotteries to offer tickets for sale with prizes in the form of money were held in Low Countries in the 15th century. Various towns held public lotteries to raise money for town fortifications and to help the poor. The English word lottery is derived from the Dutch noun lot, meaning fate.
Dun, dun,
So-
dun,
so-
dun. Dun, 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 dun.
A lot.
Yeah, like your lot
So
in
not
life.
right, your lot in
Quick
life,
English.
and then you put a P on that, and that's your plot.
So are we ever going to find out?
Okay, now a plot is where you're buried at.
Right. But that begs the question, right? So this last big jackpot was $1.6 billion.
Right. And they
How
said-
much money did they actually make to give that amount of money away?
Wow.
Right. Because they're not giving away everything that they make.
They ain't giving away shit.
And what I'm saying is with these gangsters, right? They ain't giving away shit.
They ain't giving
is
away
what I'm
shit.
saying. Like I'm saying, they're saying that this nigga won. We don't know Roscoe or whoever the fuck they say won this shit.
It is so convenient.
Nobody's following this nigga. Like
That is always some random country bumpkin on a rural road in
on
South
a store
Carolina.
that nobody
in this
really
case.
goes to.
Right, on a dirt road that
Now-
got the one winning ticket.
What's to prevent them from killing this nigga and taking his paper? What's to prevent? Because that's what a real gangster would do.
That's what they do.
What
Some
would
people
prevent
say.
them from killing this nigga, taking his paper, and now putting it back into a fucking fund, like a
And-
secret rich people's fund, like oh, you fucked up, my nigga. Like, don't worry about it. We're gonna let you tap into the to the Mega Millions money. But I thought that was for. Man, come on. You thought that was real? Like, this is what
Hey, you know-
I'm telling you, the type of shit that exists in this fucking world, this sick world that we live
You
in.
know, it's funny. A lot of social analysts, they complain about the quote-unquote rich 1%. They said that the elite practice socialism amongst themselves and capitalism against the masses.
Yep. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Socialism amongst themselves
Right.
and capitalism amongst the masses
Yes.
and make socialism a dirty word amongst the masses. When socialism, like, let's keep it real, what the fuck is wrong with
Meanwhile, Jim Bob Joe that
Sharing
won
in the
lottery
pie.
is
And
going to
equality.
Meanwhile, Jim Bob Joe that won the lottery on Country Road 15 or in
I hope
East
that don't really
Bumblefuck,
exist.
Kansas is going to end up dead in 5 years by suicide.
Yeah, he gonna get a
he
quadruple
going-
wide trailer. He don't even want a mansion. He want a quadruple wide trailer.
He gonna end up on the
Hydraulics.
Discovery Channel on the
He
lottery.
want a
Ruined My
trailer as
Life.
wide as 95.
Some rims, candy
Both
paint.
lanes, north and south
Right.
lane. He gonna get him a
Right.
trailer as big as a
And end
mother.
up killing himself in the next 5 years.
Yo, on methamphetamines
Right,
or some
right.
shit like
Y'all
that.
some
Come on.
stereotypers, man.
Hey, shit is real
It's
out
what
here.
happens. You ain't never seen the lottery ruin
Well,
my
listen,
life?
we about to wrap it up right now. As always, these are, another great episode. Shout out to everybody that joined us on Shindig. Shout out to my man Chris. Yeah, we're gonna get this popping. I'm gonna start interviewing people remotely on this Shindig platform because this is some shit right here. What you got something to say real quick?
No. I'll tell you after.
Okay,
Bye,
that's
guys.
what's up. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate you joining us. Once again, if you'd like to donate to the show, go to cash.me/$, you know what I mean, patreon.com/you know what I mean, or yanadameen.com/support. We appreciate every dollar. So once again, I am Lord Jamar. I'm going to say peace for Digga Digga.
Digga Digga.
And that is Foxxy Alex.
FOXX to the Y.
Yeah, give them your Instagram. Come on.
Okay, FOXX to the YALEX #1.
And that's how we do it. And as always,
peace.
Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. Two fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian PEACE gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodcheap.com. Get yours today.